Top of the morning, good afternoon, and hello to planet Earth. Dermot Butterley here, creative facilitator of Club Fearless for Coaches. All right. Welcome to this week's inspirational thought and your question for the week. I think one of the most important things that I can do as a coach is to inspire inspiration, is to help people to create, to connect, reconnect. Sometimes it goes out the window, it's like my tax return. I just want to throw it out the window. But it's helpful to reconnect or to help people to connect to their own inspiration. The word inspiration comes from the Latin inspirate, and it literally means to bring back the news or the truth. Now, if you look at the word a little bit closer, you'll see that it's reconnecting to the truth of who you are and what you're capable of and expressing that in the world. It's a really wonderful word. Another way of thinking about it is in Greek philosophy, they say sharing the light from within. And so inspiration truly means, just being willingness, having the willingness to show up and try stuff from a place of inspiration. Now, we're going to be talking about that today. Cheers. I really enjoy doing these. I sit down every Monday and I just sit for a while and really get clear about, what I want to talk about and why I want to talk about that. So your inspirational thought and question for the week. Now, this is part, I think, 3 of 4. You can do anything. Now, a couple of weeks ago, my partner came to me and she said, I'm going to go down to the spiritual center. We're part of a meditation center. And I'm going to serve in the kitchen on Friday. I said, okay. Kitchen and me are like, again, they're like taxes. I do my best to avoid them. And she said, why don't you come down? And I thought, no, I don't want to be in a kitchen doing anything. And I thought, I'm not really wanting to do that. Well, she said, well, why don't you come down? And it's about an hour and a half from our house in Walnut Creek. So why don't you come down and bring the computer and you can do your work? I said, okay, wonderful. I'm happy to do that. And so we drove down and I laid out all my stuff, was doing my work, and she was in the kitchen with the chef. And she said, hey, you want to take a break? And I'd been on the computer for an hour. I said, yeah, because I one of the things is, folks, if you want to keep your energy high all day, is spend 30 minutes on the computer and then get up and walk around for 5 minutes and just give your brain is designed to take a break about every 20-30 minutes. It's looking, it's like the dog, it's looking for something new and shiny. And so I said, yeah, I'll take a break. And went into the kitchen. And they said, yeah, you want to come into the kitchen? I said, not really. But I kind of mustered up some willingness and I said, okay, let me, I've shown up to be in Walnut Creek. Why don't I, go into the kitchen? And the chef was in there, and when he was talking, really nice guy. He said, yeah, I'm chopping this and peeling that. And I'm thinking, nah, chopping and peeling, don't like it. And so I walked around the kitchen for a while, and then I, as quickly as Superman exiting, I left the kitchen, went back to my work. And later on, my girlfriend came and said, hey, we could really use some help in the kitchen. And I'm thinking, no chopping or peeling. And it was in that moment that I said, look, Dermot, you teach showing up and trying stuff, which is the topic of our talk today. You teach that. Even when you're not really wanting to do something. I have clients that, they want to do something, but they don't want to do it. They're too afraid to do it, or they're not sure it's going to work out, or it's not sure it's the right thing, which there is no right thing. There's only what's right for you in the moment. And so I said, well, You teach showing up and trying stuff, Dermot. So why don't you show up and try something? So I said, look, I have 20 minutes. Let me go into the kitchen and let me try. And so I showed up. I went to the kitchen. I showed up. I was there. And then the chef says, well, we need some chopping and peeling. And in that moment, I had a choice. Now I'd shown up. I had a choice to just try some stuff while I was there. Even though I had it in my mind, oh, in a kitchen, with a chef and the chopping and peeling, it's not my thing. It's not really what I'm interested in doing. And I said, okay, show up and try stuff, Dermot. If you're going to teach it, you got to walk your talk. And by the way, I don't walk all of my talk. I do my best to, but I'm human, I'm they say life is a full contact sport and you're going to get your knocks. And that's true with life, no question about it. And it's true with showing up and trying stuff too. So I said, okay. And I'm chopping away. He taught me how to use the knife, and I'm chopping. Like, oh, it's not too bad. And before I knew what had happened, I was really enjoying being in the kitchen. Put on an apron, chop it away, talking to the chef, talking to my girlfriend. It was wonderful. Now, we were there this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, chopping and peeling and cooking and serving and doing dishes and talking to people. And I had an absolute wonderful, wonderful time. It was surprising how much fun I had at the center. And I got to meet people, that I had meditated with for a long time, but never really spoken to, kind of just shied away from talking to them. Met all these new people and made a lot of new friends. Brought home about 200 pounds of food. A lot of apple pie. I got to tell you, a lot of apple pie. And I thought, boy, there it is, Dermot. Because I had that unwillingness to show up and try something. I was like, it's not for me. And I hear that a lot with my clients. They'll say to me, Dermot, I want to do this, but, the big inspirational killer, but. And I said, but what? I don't think I have the time. I don't think I have skills. I don't have the capabilities. I'm not sure I feel worthy of. I'm scared to. Don't have enough courage, confidence, you name it. And I said, well, one of the things that I teach, I said, is show up and try stuff. So why don't you just show up and try it for 20 minutes? People are building new habits. Show up and try it for 1 minute per day. When I was first learning to meditate, did not like it. Did not want to sit down for a minute. I'm an action kind of person. I like to be going, going, going. But it had taken its toll on my body, just constantly going, not stopping. And so, I was told, hey, Dermot, you need to slow down. You need to do some meditation. And I started just with a minute a day. My coach said to me, what would you be willing to try? Because my coach used to tell me all the time, show up and try stuff. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. That's how you find out whether you truly want to do this or not. Coaches tell me in Club Fearless, they say, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm really excited about creating a business, but I don't know if I can do it or I really want to do it. I said, well, show up and try stuff. Come and experience it for a month and see if you like it. Dip your toes in the waters. That's what showing up and trying stuff is all about. It's the willingness to show up for a minute, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes. And then it's the willingness. Willingness trumps perfection every time. I see so many clients and coaches over the years. They're trying to get it right. They're trying to do the perfect thing. I did it for years. Trying to do the perfect thing, the right thing, the things I should do. And there's just no such thing. You can't think ahead and think this is the right way to go. You have to show up and you have to try it to see if it's the right thing. There's no other way. You can't think yourself, into a yes, or you can't think yourself into the right thing to do. They got to show up and try it. So I will tell clients, go and do that thing. Come back in 10 minutes, go and do that thing. And they go away, they do the thing, it takes 5 minutes. They've been thinking about it for months. Ah, that was pretty easy, Dermot. That was kind of fun. Show up and try stuff. It's one of the quickest ways that I know how to go from indecision to decision. It's the quickest the quickest way I know to go from overthinking something to being quiet about it. It's the quickest way I know to find out if you really want to do something or not, is to show up and try it. And you can ask yourself, what's the minimum amount of time? Which this is your question for the week, by the way. What's the minimum amount of time? Let's say you want to work out more. You never stayed in the negative. You never say, I have to lose weight. Say, I want to be healthier. I want to be stronger. I want to have a healthy body, whatever it is. State in the positive. The brain only works with the positive. And you ask yourself, what's the minimum amount of time I will spend this week showing up and trying this? You can also ask yourself, what's the maximum amount of time I will spend this week showing up and trying this? Because you don't need to get it right. It doesn't need to be perfect. Because I can tell you, perfection doesn't go anywhere. People who want a perfect life or want things they want to do the right thing all the time, they really they don't do much. But the people who show up and try stuff and experiment and see what possibilities can come from showing up and trying stuff. I've done a lot of wild things in my life, a lot of cool things in my life that I've tried. And 50% of them not interested. But at least I know I don't have to question or think about, should I have done that? I don't want to have any regrets when I leave this planet. I want to know that I've done everything I wanted to do. I've tried the things that I wanted to try. So this week, pick something that you say you want to do, but you haven't gotten to yet. You know, maybe it's taking a walk every day, or maybe it's meditating for a few minutes. I encourage all my clients, I teach all my clients how to meditate. It's very helpful. Maybe you want to take a yoga class. For years, I had an aversion to Bikram yoga, you know, the hot yoga, because I went one time, didn't like it, and that was it, and never went back. And I decided my girlfriend went to it and said, come on, let's go. And I said, no, I don't like that. I went one time, didn't like it. Too hot. I already run hot. I don't need any more heat in my life. Now, regular, do it every Wednesdays. And if I'm feeling inspired, I do it Wednesdays and Sundays. So take something that you'd like to try this week, something that maybe you feel you're not good enough to do, not confident enough, you don't have the skills, the capabilities, the time. You want to do it, but you talk yourself out of it. And ask yourself, what's the minimum amount of time that I could show up and try this? Maybe it's a minute, 5 minutes. I started meditation with a minute. And now I meditate 1-2 hours, an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening, sometimes half an hour during the day. And I really enjoy it. But you can't think yourself into what's the right thing to do. You've got to show up and try it. So just for this week, pick one thing. What's the minimum amount of time I'll show up and try it? What's the maximum amount of time I'll show up and try it? And do it for 7 days. And then see whether you like it or not. Okay? All right. For all you coaches that are listening to this, I know a lot of you coaches are listening to these talks every week. Tomorrow, March 19th, 2024, we're going to be having a special Club Fearless Q&A where you can bring your questions about, we had a Club Fearless Q&A, and you can come on March 5th. And we talked about business building and coaching skills. So bring your questions, any questions that you have about the coaching practice, bring them to the Q&A. I'll leave a link down below, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. For all the rest of you, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Until the next time, think big, have fun, and stay curious. Cheers.